The Tirupur water supply project is India's biggest privatized water supply project, and it's a project of about 1200 crore rupees, which is technically a public-private partnership, and the Tamil Nadu government owns some part of the project, and some part of the project is owned by the Tirupur Exporters Association and several other entities. And the aim of the project is to supply water to the Tirupur industrial estate, which is a huge industrial estate essentially for garments, knitwear, and some of the industries are water intensive. There was so much criticism at that time on the privatized projects. They also added a component whereby the project would supply water to the Tirupur municipality and also some of the wayside village panchayats. Now, this project has actually run into many serious problems because the company is saying that industries are not taking enough water, and so they are accumulating losses because they are not earning enough money from the project. They are actually accumulated losses to the tune of 177 crores. But there's another aspect which is very important about these projects, and that is the whole issue of transparency. Now, when Manthan was doing the study of this project as a part of our study of the privatization in the water sector, we asked for some information from this project. So they refused to give, they just didn't reply to our questions. So then we made an application under the Right to Information Act to this company, NTADCL, that's the special purpose vehicle which has been formed to run this project, the new Tirupur Area Development Corporation Limited. So when we asked NTDCL for the information under RTI, then they came back to us saying that we are not a public authority under the RTI, and so we are not obliged to give you information. So we challenged this in the Tamil Nadu Information Commission, and the commissioner actually ruled in our favor and told the company to give us the information. So they went to the Chennai High Court. Now this is very interesting because then in the Chennai High Court they argued again the same thing, that they are not a public authority, and we argued that it is a public authority. And the Chennai High Court judgment has come out recently. And it's a very, very important judgment because they have first of all held that the Tirupur project is a public authority, and therefore they have to give the information under the RTI Act. What is interesting and important is the reasons that they have given. So the RTI Act says that any body which receives substantial funding from the government should be considered a public authority. Now this word substantial is not defined in the Act. So this judgment first of all gives a kind of an interpretation of the word substantial, and it is very important because they say that substantial doesn't mean majority holding should be by the government or anything. It just says substantial, and then they go to the CAG, the Comptroller and Auditor General, who they point out is authorized to audit any company that gets more than 1 crore rupees from the government. So any company that gets 1 crore rupees from the government, if it is liable to an audit by the CAG, then the court said that the similar kind of logic should apply, and so that sort of kind of level of funding can be interpreted to mean substantial funding. That's kind of the implication of that order, and I think that's very, very important. But what is more important is the other reason which the court has given for holding this Tirupur project as a project authority and public authority. So what they have said is that the Tirupur project is actually providing a public service. They say that water supply is something which a local body is mandated to provide under the Constitution. So under the Constitution, under the 73rd, 74th Amendment, this comes under the functions of the local body. So they say that any constitutionally mandated service which is being provided, which the Constitution mandates that a public body should provide, is a public service. So just because a private company is providing it under any kind of contractual arrangement does not mean that it's not a public service. So it's a public service, and therefore, because it is providing a public service, it is a public authority. Now this is very, very important because we have seen in the country that many of the public services, like whether it is water, whether it's electricity, whether it is education, whether it's health, increasingly there are attempts to privatize it or put it through the public-private partnership mode. And then the companies who are running these PPPs, the public-private partnership entities or the privatized entities try to hide behind this clause and say that we can't give out any information, we don't want to give out any information. So what is happening is that the information about public services and how they are run is increasingly going behind the curtain of privatization. Now, this judgment has actually helped, or at least will help significantly in challenging this notion.